A very good afternoon to you and welcome to Africa Today. I am Peace Ogenegbawe. First, let's talk the headlines. On the headlines, FG opens Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to traffic. Premium services at its regional offices. Still in the news, Ramaphosa defies scandal to win party vote. And on sports, Morocco ranked top African team. Now the news in detail. Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari has previewed the forthcoming general election schedule for the first quarter of 2023. We take a quick break. When we come back, the news continues. Welcome back. Nigeria's president has reviewed the general election as his administration is expected to conduct a credible poll that will be acceptable to all candidates participating in the exercise. The president made this commitment in Washington, D.C., the United States capital, at an interactive session which was co-hosted by United States Institute of Peace, that is USIP, the International Republican Institute, the National Endowment for Democracy, and the International Foundation for Electoral Systems. President Buhari also revealed that Nigeria's agricultural revolution has created over 13 million direct and indirect jobs in the last 7.5 years. He further advised Western nations not to be in a rush to eliminate the usage of fossil fuels in a bid to ensure a healthy climate. The president has returned back to the country in the early hours of Sunday. To ensure a hitch-free transit, the federal government has ordered that all road barriers and diversions along Lagos-Ibadan Expressway be removed. Carrying out the directive on Section 2 of the road, which spans Shagamu Interchange to Ojo-Ibadan, Ogun Controller of Works, Federal Ministry of Works and Housing, Foroshola Oloyede, said the partial removal of these blocks will ease traffic in the area. It says the opening of the road was to enable users have easier motorable experience this festive period.
For free flow of traffic for the youth time, that's why we're here. So we are here we have removed all the weather, rainfall, and other encumbrances. We couldn't complete at end of December 2022. But our new completion date now is 31st March 2020.
Meanwhile, the project manager, Nahor Naki, said the work has reached 85% completion stage.
Up till now, 70 kilometers for both bound of the road is already completed. And I think that the motor users already, they can see the quality of the road. I think that the road is speaking by himself.
Speaking on behalf of the Federal Road Safety Commission, Adelaja Ogungbemi enjoined
sure that if there is any case of crash,
Nigeria's Minister of Work and Housing, Babatunde Raji Fashola, had ordered that all barriers on federal roads where construction works are ongoing be removed for free flow of traffic for the Yuletide. Nigeria has reported 1,027 cases of the circulating vaccine-derived poliovirus type 2 in 2021. Flaccid paralysis cases were reported in 2021 against the outbreak with the required scope and speed. It noted that over 80% of the identified CVD on this report, the medical laboratories scientists at the Department of Microbiology, Nnamdi Azikiwe University Teaching Hospital, Nnewi, Anambra State, Obinna Chukwudi, said strict adherence to polio vaccination must be taken more seriously, just as it was for COVID-19. Meanwhile, 3 reported dead and 12 others injured in an auto crash at Shasha Market along the Akure-Owo Highway. The crash reportedly occurred at about 5:50 a.m. An eyewitness said that this crash happened when the driver of the Toyota of a Sienna attempted to overtake a trailer on the single-lane highway when he collided with a Hummer bus coming from Lagos State. Meanwhile, Ondo State Sector Commander, Federal Road Safety Corps, Ezekiel Sanahala, said 3 persons died in the crash while 12 were injured. Sanahala said the injured victim had been taken to General Hospital in Akure for treatment, while the dead bodies were deposited at the same hospital mortuary. He called on the general public to avoid traveling in the night because of the hazard associated with night traveling. You're watching Hills TV News. When the news returns, news from other parts of West Africa. Just stay with us. Welcome back. This is still Africa Today on Hills TV. The National Identification Authority, that is NIA in Ghana, will begin premium services for the Ghana card registration exercise at 3 of its regional offices from today, Monday. These are the Ashanti, Eastern and Western regions. This will be in addition to the NIA head office and has gathered on Saturday in a suburb of Monrovia to demonstrate against Liberia's President George, organized by the opposition as the country grapples. Let's now move to other parts of Africa after this timeout. Stay with us. Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa has been re-elected leader of the governing African National Congress, that is the ANC. Amid scandal reports, he defeated his rivals rarely 97 votes. He had this to say as his victory speech. That he stashed at least $580,000 in a sofa at his private firm and then covered up its theft. A panel of legal experts appointed by the Speaker of Parliament said that impeachment proceedings should be instituted against him as he may have both violated the constitution of the panel. Meanwhile, in Tunisia, opposition called on Sunday for President Kais Saied to resign a day after parliamentary elections were largely ignored by the 9 million-strong electorate. According to the electoral authorities, turnout stood at 8.8%, the lowest ever in the country. Others, however, have revealed their disappointment at the lack of investment previously promised by the government. But despite an abstention rate of more than 9.7%, some feel the results are positive. The ballot for the new 161-seat assembly followed 3 weeks of barely noticeable campaigning with no serious debate among a partnership with Algeria, according to a statement posted on Twitter. In September 2021, Paris reduced visa quotas to its former colonies of Algeria, Morocco and Tunisia in a bid to encourage their countries to cooperate against irregular migration. Paris slashed rates by 30% for Tunisia and 50% for Algeria's irregular migrants. This move, however, was sparked by On to Business News. Welcome back. It's time for business news on Africa Today. The Central Bank of Nigeria, that's it, at point of sale, that is popularly known as POS agents, made this known. Arena cited the December 6 circular of the apex of the set limit their conditions to fulfill. Arena stated clearly that this was not in any way having to affect POS as they were not the target of this limit. The CBN had stated that in such instance, not exceeding once a month, withdrawals should be done, with 5% for individuals and 10% for corporate entities, in addition to enhanced due diligence and further information requirements. Applicants are also expected to upload the following on the CBN's portal: a valid means of identification of the payee. It could be national identity card, international passport, driver's license, bank verification number, which is known as the BVN of the payee, and notarized customer declaration of the purpose for the cash withdrawal. Senior management approval for this would happen as managing director of the withdrawee where applicable, and the approval in writing by the MD and CEO of the bank authorizing the withdrawal. In Ghana, the Finance Minister, Ofori Atta, has said it was suspending debt service payment on certain categories of external debt, including Eurobonds, commercial loans, and most bilateral debt, amid the worst economic crisis in a generation. Ghana had already announced the domestic debt exchange program last week, Tuesday, and said it had reached a $3 billion staff level agreement with the International Monetary Fund. The IMF has said a comprehensive debt restructuring is a condition of the deal. Meanwhile, the Finance Ministry said in a statement that the government stands ready to engage in discussions with all its external creditors to make Ghana's debt sustainable. This West African cocoa, oil, and gold producer was previously seen as a rising star among emerging economies, but is now struggling with soaring debt costs. Public debt stood at 467.4 billion Ghana cedis, which is about $55 billion in September, according to the most recent bank figures, 42% of which was domestic. Still to come on Africa Today is sports news. Let's now join Richard Badum on that. Thank you for staying with us.
Very good afternoon to you and welcome to Sport News on Africa Today. I am Richard Badum. David Ekpeyong has continued his rich veins of form in tennis on Sunday as he claimed his first senior title in the Tennis Open. Ekpeyong bounced back strongly after losing the Dala hard-court competition to Uche Okparaji in November. He lost 6-0, 1-6, 7-6 to the firing power of Okparaji, who claimed the title. Ekpeyong, who qualified for the singles male categories finals of the J5 World Tennis Championships in Abuja, has now won his first title as a senior player. And away from that story, following the successful establishment of the African Basketball League, that is BAL, the FIBA Africa in is already set to establish a women's league similar to the men's competition. The league tournament was established in the continent a few years back with Rivers Hoopers as the first Nigeria representative. According to the updates, FIBA wants to correct the imbalance between the men's and women's games. The meeting was held in Maputo, the capital of Mozambique, under the president of FIBA, Anita Manave, as in attendance the president of the FIBA World, Amani Niang, and the presidents of the 7 zones of Sports African Confederations. Kwara Falcons will represent Nigeria in the 2023 edition of the men's tournament after they emerged as the winner of the Nigeria League. And away from that story, Atlas Lions of Morocco have been ranked as the top team in Africa after finishing 4th position at the 2022 World Cup tournament in Qatar. This was made known by the World Soccer ruling body, that is FIFA, in a release on its website today. Morocco defeated Belgium, Canada, Spain and Portugal to reach the semi-final of the competition, although Morocco lost their 3rd place match against Croatia on Saturday. Other ranked teams are Senegal on 10th position, Cameroon, Ghana and Tunisia, all one of the best teams from the tournament who qualified among the 5s. FIFA has increased the slot for Africa to 9 as the tournament in 2026 will be jointly hosted by Canada, United States of America and US and Mexico. 2026 teams the 2026 tournament is expected to have 48 teams participating in the competition. And that's your sport news on Africa Today. Back to Peace Ogenegbawe for the rest of the news. I am Richard Badung.
Thank you, Richard Badung, for that report. And now to the rest of the news. A shocking incident occurred weekend in Olum community in Boki local government area of Cross River State when a young man reportedly hacked his friend to death with a machete. Reports from the area gave the name of the assailant as Emmanuel, while the victim was Akwande Irene Ugbo. The Cross River Police spokesman said she was yet to be briefed on the matter as at the time of filing this report. Details will come in subsequent bulletins, and that's Africa Today. But before we go, here again are the headlines. We told you that the federal government has opened Lagos-Ibadan Expressway to traffic. From Ghana, the NIA has begun premium services at its regional offices. Meanwhile, Ramaphosa in South Africa defies scandal to win party votes. And on sport, Morocco has been ranked top African team. Remember to visit us on Facebook and Instagram at Hills TV. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hills TV. I am Peace Ogenegbawe. Thank you for watching.